Hey beauty, do you feel foggy, stuck, or lost? Then Clarity is for you. A 3-day live experience with 30-minute sessions to get you back home to yourself. Join me July 22nd to 24 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Gain the clarity you need to move forward in life with courage, power, and truth. Visit midlifebutterfly.ca/clarity to sign up now. Let's talk about midlife transitions today. From motherhood to corporate America to an empty nester to entrepreneurship. Welcome back to Midlife Butterfly Podcast. I'm your host, Ken, as you. And today I have one of my dear podcast sisters, Tracy Hill, who will share her story about navigating her midlife transitions. And if this resonates with you, well, stay tuned.
Midlife Butterfly, a woman in the sacred in-between. She's not who she once was and not quite who she's becoming yet. She's unraveling, awakening, remembering. She's navigating life transitions, divorce, loss, reinvention, moves, with a burning desire for freedom, joy, and soul-led living. She feels the pull to rise, to fly. She is no longer afraid of her own wings.
Tracy Hill is a former Fortune 500 marketing executive turned into self-discovery guide, podcast host, and the voice behind A Beautiful Fix. After burning out in a career that no longer felt like hers, she hit pause on the hustle and took a bold leap into the unknown. She now helps midlife women stop going through the motions and start reconnecting with what truly lights them up. Through her podcast, Human Design Sessions, and Transformational Retreats, Tracy is on a mission to prove that your next chapter can be your best one. And it starts by remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Welcome back, sister. Such a pleasure to have you back in Midlife Butterfly.
Thank you. Thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here. I've really been looking forward to this. I was listening to your podcast earlier, which I absolutely love.
Thank you.
And I'm just so happy to be able to be here with you.
Yeah. I'm so glad to have you back and have you this time to speak your truth, your story about how have you navigated midlife transitions.
So it has been, I'm trying to coin the term midlife curiosity. I think that's one of the best ways to explain my journey, because I thought I always knew who I was. Like when I was in my 20s, teens, I kind of knew exactly who Tracy was. I was chasing my dreams. I was doing what I thought I should be doing, and I loved it. And something happened around my 30s where I just started to become I started to not recognize myself of who I thought I was. In my 30s, that's when I started my family. I got married at 26. I had my first son at 30, my second at 32, my third at 34, my fourth at 36.
Wow.
So my 30s was just motherhood. And it's the way I do everything, Kenna. It's just all or nothing. It's all or nothing. I can never do things just, half. So I just went from the world being about me to being someone's wife, to, being in corporate America, to suddenly being a mother 4 times, within 6 years. It was insane. Yeah. My boys, 3 of the 4 had health issues. They had life-threatening allergies. They had asthma. So my whole world, the way I thought I knew it, was turned upside down. Suddenly something like food could be a weapon. So you're already tired and exhausted as a mom. And now 3 times a day, I had to think about what I was going to give my children, really think about it, read I never read labels. So that started to change me. And at work, I started to realize the things that I was chasing, it didn't really do it for me anymore. Suddenly the titles didn't mean as much. Going for that next promotion that I was always thinking about what's next. Looking at the office I wanted to be in. All of a sudden it was like, I don't know if I want to do that because that's going to require traveling. And I started realizing, my God, I'm changing. And I didn't love it. I didn't embrace the change. I didn't like where it was going. I was Miss Corporate America. I wanted to be a businesswoman. I wanted to be a vice president. of somebody's company. These were my dreams. And I started to get a little sad as I was getting pulled from it. And it just continued, Kenna. It just continued. I stayed home for 4 years with my sons. Once I had my third, my husband and I were like, it's getting expensive to have them in daycare. Someone needs to stay home. I was looking at him. He was looking at me. I ended up
Yeah.
being the one to stay home. I was with them for 4 years and I completely changed. At that point, I thought my career is done. I don't even know what's going on in the world of marketing anymore. Marketing moves fast. It went from print to digital. And I thought I was done. I'm going to be their
Yeah.
mom. And then I started to embrace motherhood and I really got into it. Then
Okay.
2008, 2009 hit. Carpet was ripped from under us. I had to go back to work. So
Yeah.
suddenly I'm 40 years old now. I'm back in corporate America where I thought I was kind of done.
Mhm.
I no longer recognize myself. That confident 20-year-old, she wasn't there anymore. I just wanted to be home with my sons. And I just really
Wow.
struggled. And I kept thinking, I know I can get back. I know I can get back to. I would have loved this career in my 20s, maybe even my 30s.
Mhm.
And I just kept struggling. And finally, I got to the point 10 years later where I was like, I don't have the answers. I don't know what's next, but I know it's not this. And I made a leap. That was a lot.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a lot.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get it into the pieces of it.
Okay, okay,
So now,
okay,
our listeners, they know how, how the transition went, and then so we can go, little by little.
okay.
So you said that you were not embracing the change at one
No.
point. So
Mm-mm.
this was when you moved from corporate America to motherhood. Was it the one of the biggest struggles in there?
Yes, because always wanted a family. I always wanted children, but they were going to be a part of my world. They were going to fit
Yeah.
in nicely to Tracy's whole world. And now she's a mom and she's got these 4 kids, but I had this whole other life. And I never wanted to be just a stay-at-home mom. I wanted the career. I wanted it all.
Yeah.
And when I left my career and I was at home with them, I didn't know who I was. When I met people, I couldn't answer the question, what do you do? I didn't have a business card to hand. This was back in the days of business cards. I didn't have a
Yeah.
business card to hand to anyone. And all of my labels were stripped and it became mom. And instead of me embracing that
Wow.
and realizing that was such a gift, I didn't realize how much of a gift it was until I was being thrown back into corporate America. So I spent a lot of those years with them longing for this life that I once had
Yeah.
instead of being present and right there with them and realizing this is the gift. Being home with them, this is really this beautiful thing. But I'm over here watching my husband leave to go to
Mhm.
work with his tie, and I'm getting ready to fix, you know, um, lunch again.
Yeah.
And I just wasted those years. And then when went back to corporate
Mm.
America, then I was in corporate America and I was longing for the years that I was home with my children.
Mm.
That's why being
Okay.
present, being in the now is so important.
Yes. Yeah, that's the key to enjoy life and not
Yes.
just, and not being in that survival mode or in that anxious mode of thinking, yeah, what's going to happen in a future, right?
Or
Um,
what happened in the past. You're always
yeah,
looking either, instead of being right here.
yeah, yeah, that's true. What happened? Well, the thing I feel it and I perceive it when you were talking about that you were not able to handle any more business cards because you didn't know who you were. It seems like, well, I guess we have been programmed this way, right? Like to do the
Yes.
things, to follow the checklist. And at one point when you are like, yeah, but you labeled your success, as you said, in all these labels, like having the job, the position, and you say you travel a lot and all that. So then it was taken away. So your identity really, it was crumbling. That's what I imagine.
It was crumbling because all that was left was me. It was
Hmm.
me. And for me, I felt like, well, that's not very interesting. And that's not anything to talk about at dinner parties. And me, like, no, I need the
Wow.
job. I need to tell them about where I'm going next week and what I just finished working on. So, yes, it's
Mm,
complete programming. And when you strip that
yeah.
programming from you and you're left just sitting with yourself, For me, it was a challenge.
What were all some of the things that you actually faced in there?
I just had to, when you're alone with yourself in a room and you've been living a life of labels and I wouldn't say that I wasn't authentic. I was just Tracy. This was corporate America, Tracy. It wasn't like I was showing up, I wouldn't go as far as to say I wasn't being authentic. But when you're just stripped down to just you really have to, one of two things. You either have to get comfortable with it and find self-love,
Mm,
or you're
yeah.
going to spiral and feel like you've got to fill your life back up with all the things. You've got to go shopping or cut your hair or, you know, um, start working out or something to change if you cannot just
Hmm.
sit raw with who you really are. So I
Ah,
had to do a lot of work. It was like almost having a mirror shine on me every single day of Tracy,
hmm.
this is who you really are. What do you think?
Yes.
Now that all that stuff is gone and it's just you, what do you think? Do you like her? Is she okay? Do
Ah,
you need to do,
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It give me chills just to think of that because that's true. We tend to hide, as you said, going shopping or going partying all the time or being with people around us or binging Netflix, binging food, trying to really numb ourselves or keeping ourselves busy in a way, in
Yes.
quotes, right? Because we're afraid to see what's really in that mirror. We are afraid to see ourselves for the first time in the eyes and say, "What the hell I am?"
Yes. Who is this person? Yes.
Yes.
And it was even wardrobe. Like I would walk in my closet and I had my wall lined with my corporate clothes. And then it's like, but I don't go there anymore. Like that's not even me anymore. I need
Wow.
something to throw on to go wipe up, my kids' spit or, whatever. It's like
Yes.
even my wardrobe was like, I don't just everything. It was like my whole world was just,
Yes.
turned upside down.
Yeah.
But I will just say really quickly, hearing myself say all of this, it really wasn't turned upside down. It was just really exposed. It
Mm.
was just real kind of for the first time. It was just me having to sit in the reality of my world and not try to layer it with getting dressed in the morning with my corporate clothes. You know what I'm saying? It was
Hmm.
just, this is the first time I've really ever thought of it like that. It was just me having to sit without all the labels and all the stuff and all the things that I would go to make
Hmm.
me into who I thought Tracy was, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Mm. I can relate to the wardrobe too. Because I mean, you have all these clothing, to go, casual clothing to go well dressed up to the office and everything. And then suddenly it's like, well, for me, it was like staying at home on my own. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to wear those. And then I have all these, like sports clothing. So it was like, okay, I really want something like in between. And
Yes,
then as we are shifting our identity, it's also like, okay, so what do I want? How do I want to dress now? It's also
right.
that question because the way we dress is also part of our identity.
That's
I
right.
mean, yeah,
That's right. It's almost like a little bit of a costume. So it's all of a sudden if you're at home
that's so
and you
true.
don't have this place that's telling you the costume to wear and you can really wear anything, what do you wear? Do you wear the sweats that are super comfortable? Do you stay in your pajamas all day? Or do you
Hmm.
still take time to get yourself dressed so that you feel good just for yourself? I mean,
Hmm.
there's all of those questions to answer. Is it workout gear?
Yes.
Is it so it's an interesting exercise to step through.
Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed lately, like I'm getting ready to come to work. I mean, it's a few meters, from my bedroom to here to this office. And I put perfume and I'm doing it just for myself. It's like, why do
Yes,
I have to put perfume every time I go out? I'm doing it for myself. I want to feel good, you know? And
and
it makes a difference. Something that simple.
it makes it, I have perfume on. I put it on this morning. I'm
Awesome.
sitting behind a camera. No one, but yes, I wanted to do it for myself. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm the person who something is special. If there's strawberries in the refrigerator, I'll have one or
Uh-huh.
two and let me put the rest away because for something special. And then the fruit ends up going bad. Or the other day, got this body oil. I went to this wonderful event for midlife women, and they had this amazing gift bag
Yeah.
filled with product. And one of them was this beautiful, just like body oil. It was in this beautiful packaging. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that is beautiful. I'm just going to put that on my shelf. And when I go out, and I thought, no, I ripped it open. And I'm like, I'm putting the body oil to walk downstairs to my kitchen. Like, I'm done
Yes.
with this is only for something special. I'm special. This day is special.
Every day special. Yes.
Every day special. Stop waiting to wear the pearls and
Yes.
wear it for
I so
you.
agree. Yes. Yeah. And I think
Yes.
it's important for women to do that shift, to start doing it for ourselves and not for others. Because
Yes.
it just changed the dynamic of how you present yourself, even if at
Yes.
this moment we're in front of camera.
Yes. Well, I used to pride myself on being low maintenance. I was something I would proudly
Mhm.
say. I'm very low
Okay.
maintenance.
Yeah.
A lot of women, they go to the salon once a week. I'm always like, I'm very, very, now I'm like, that's not something to be proud about. Like taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself, doing nice things for yourself. It's not selfish. It
No.
is a priority. It should be prioritized because when you fill yourself up, you then can fill other people's lives from a place of fullness. I
Yes.
would always do, wear myself down, not do anything for me. That's not a great place to mother from or to show up to work. That's why I burned out. If I had spent those years prioritizing myself and allowing myself to go on retreats or maybe go for a massage every once in a while or to put that body oil on every day when I went into work, I honestly don't think I would have burned out. I know I would have been a
Mm.
better mom. So we have to get, last thing, I saw something, I think it was a couple of Mother's Days ago, a couple of years ago for Mother's Day, a
Yeah.
news station was celebrating the best mom. Like you could write in and nominate the best mom. And so I don't like the news, but I caught it.
Hmm.
And they were celebrating this mom. And I thought that's wonderful. And the way the person who submitted the nomination described her was she is the most selfless person. She puts everybody else's needs first, blah, 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 blah. And I stopped and thought, we have to
Oh,
stop doing this.
yes.
We have to stop saying that to be the best mom, you're last on the list.
Yeah.
Everybody else's needs are the most important. She does not even think of herself. Like it's beautiful. I'm sure this was a
Hmm.
beautiful mom and that's wonderful. But why do we set motherhood up that way?
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
be the opposite. To be a good mom, you take care of yourself. It's like putting the oxygen
First,
mask on. You have
exactly.
your cup overflow, and that overflow is where you do for others.
Yeah, because then you give from a place, as you said, overflow of abundance and love. Otherwise, if you have your empty cup,
Ah,
you give from lack, and what it builds up? Resentment.
yes.
And then that resentment that we created ourselves. We are the
Yes.
creators of that. Is like, wow, but as
And
yeah.
the person feels that resentment. If I've worn myself down, I haven't slept for 2 days, I haven't taken a shower, I'm miserable, I haven't eaten well, and then I'm cooking your food, that's not going to be the same meal as someone who is coming from a place of well rested and just finished doing yoga.
Yes, of
You're
course.
not you're not helping anyone.
Hmm.
So this low maintenance stuff, I'm done with
Oh, yes.
it.
Love it. Love it. I want to come back to when you were facing
Yes.
yourself in the mirror.
Yes.
Like, what were your thoughts? What was your inner critic saying? What was your soul also saying in there? Was there fear?
Oh,
Like, what happened in there?
Oh, Kenna, my relationship with fear, fear has been there. When I was a little girl, I don't remember fear being a part of my life, but pretty much from the time that I probably started school and I started being around other people, fear started showing up. But in my adult years, I didn't recognize it as fear, but it was absolutely ruling my life. My life was so fear-based. Um, and I got to the point where I really couldn't even look myself in the mirror, if I'm being honest. Like I would look, long enough to brush my teeth and make sure I'm not getting toothpaste all over my shirt. Like that kind of look I would do. But I
Okay.
didn't look at myself because I just didn't, first, I didn't recognize her. Physically, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
recognize her. I didn't recognize my thoughts. I was really hard on myself because I was mad at myself because I've always known who I am. So in human design, I won't go deep into it, but it's an energetic blueprint of your soul.
Yes.
And I have a defined what they call G center. It just means I have consistent access to, it's like your own GPS. And mine is defined. I always know who I am. I am the same person if I'm around you or if I'm around this person or that person. I'm still Tracy. Good
Mm-hmm.
or bad, I'm still me. I'm not someone who kind of is like a chameleon who can I'm going to show up as myself. So I've always known who I am and I know what I want. And all of a sudden, I'm this person that has no answers. I don't know what I want. I don't even know what I love. I can't answer any questions about what are you passionate about? What do you love to do? All of that. I can't even answer that. I don't know what's next. I don't know how to fix anything. I was just disgusted with myself. Like I was so over myself. I was
Yeah.
just over. I was ready to get the answers again. I've always had the answers and I didn't. So I was just not very happy with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving my husband crazy. Every conversation with me was me complaining, whining, asking him, what do you think I should do? What do you think I'm good at? Like it was,
Mm-hmm.
it was that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
The thing is, I don't understand why, and I think this is not only for women, it's also for men, like, that we supposed to have everything figured out all the time. And life doesn't work like that.
no.
And we put too much pressure because then, as you said, if we go see some friends or we have a conversation with people, and then, as you said, we're not able to answer those questions. Like, what's your mission? What are you doing? And we are like, I don't know. We feel embarrassed. And why not
Yes.
say, I mean, why not say when people are between works, it's like, I'm between lives, or I don't know, what terminology can we use in there?
Well, I think that's exactly right. I think that comes from self-worth. I think if you know who you are, you have strong self-worth, you know that you are enough, you know that you're just figuring this thing out. I think you can answer that question with like, I don't know, I'm figuring it out, and it can feel
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you're in a place of lack where you feel like you have to have that identity, you have to be able to answer that question with surety. I'm a grown woman. Like I should, at this point, be an expert at everything. Then I think that's where it is challenging. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful place when you can say, I don't know. I don't know what's next,
Yeah.
but I'm here for whatever. I'm just in the present moment and whatever tomorrow holds. I think that's much, much healthier. We do this to our children when they are 18 years old. They're supposed to know exactly what they want to do. It's ridiculous. When
Yes,
you
it
go to
is.
college, choose your major. What do you want to do? It's insanity. I feel like you shouldn't be able to choose your major until you're a senior. I mean, let college be this exploration, or even if you don't go to college, let life after high school be an exploration. We need to stop with this. We know everything. We have it all figured out. We've got to get back to curiosity and the unknown and following breadcrumbs. I don't know. So
Yes.
yes, that's why I was, I think, just in a really rough place. I didn't enjoy not having the answers.
Mm-hmm. And what happens through it that then you start getting those answers?
So when I was in my corporate role, every day I was looking for the answers. I would go to
Mm-hmm.
work and I would come home and I would search. I would search
That,
job.
that was before motherhood or
No,
after
no, no. So
motherhood?
this was after. This was my last.
Okay.
This was after I had to go back to work after being home with my sons. I found
Yeah.
myself back at work at
Okay.
40. This was that whole, for 10 years. I stayed, in
Okay.
this particular role.
Yeah.
And
So in the case, before we move forward, I would like to
yes,
see how was your experience? I mean, I'm not a mom, but how was your experience of shifting your then identity from corporate America to a motherhood? And
oh,
then, like, which has been, I don't know, probably the main lessons that you have learned during that 10 years?
so you mean how was it going from being in corporate America to starting my family? Like, what was that
Yes.
shift like?
Uh-huh.
So that was the beginning of, I think, the change with me because before I had my children, I'm telling you, I was as ambitious as they came. I am a Capricorn, true and true, for those that follow astrology. Like I was just all about, I loved working. I'm a generator in human design. I could just go, 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 go. Once I had my first child, my son, and I left for maternity leave, I was a little terrified of motherhood because this was unknown to me. I didn't have younger siblings. I've only had to take care of animals, my cats and my dogs.
Mhm.
Suddenly, I had to take care of this, life growing in me for 9 months. And when I delivered Maxwell, my oldest son, I was so proud of myself. I did it. I
Yes.
did it. I saw it through. Oh my God, thank you. I felt like my part was done. I literally thought the nurse was going to congratulate me, pat me on my back, take the little baby, put me in my own room, and just let me sleep. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's not what happened. They cleaned off Maxwell, gave him right back to me. Let's start with the breastfeeding. I'm like, wait. And it hit me. Oh my gosh, my life is never going to go back to being all about me. Like it's good. I have to. So motherhood was a big wake up call for me to be responsible for another human being. Then my
Mhm.
maternity leave, it was just Maxwell and I. It was just us. I was afraid of motherhood a little bit. Well, can I do it? All the fears. But
Mhm.
you have to just jump in. And slowly over my 3 month maternity leave, I became Maxwell's mom. I really got to know him. We spent
Mhm.
every moment together. I knew everything about him. I felt very confident. I knew how to hold him and swaddle him, the whole thing. And then when it was time to go back to work, I was torn. That was the first one. I knew I wanted to go back to work, but I kind of
Mhm.
didn't. And when I had to leave him at childcare, I bawled my eyes. The women at daycare was like, "What's happening?" It was like they were ripping my child out of my arms for life. I did not expect that. And when I
Mhm.
got to work, I realized something is different. It wasn't, and I've never been able to really go back. I was able to figure it out, but with each child, it just pulled me further and further and further away from my career. Um, so yeah, I think they were the beginning of
Mm.
me, getting kind of off the path that I thought I was
It was.
supposed to be on.
Mhm. Yeah. Wow. I can imagine how each of them has moved you towards more of bringing you more to yourself, because I know, well, again, I'm not a mom, but our relationships, and I believe then children are the ones who really mirror ourselves. And I have nephews and nieces, and with that is more than enough just to see, like, oh my God, like I would like them to do this, or reflecting it back to us at all times. And at the same time, like, it's their life. I need to allow them.
I have learned more from my children than probably any other life lesson. Once I realized someone told me, or I read in a book or heard a quote that our children are here to teach us versus the other way around. First, I was like, wait, what? And then I thought, oh my God, that is so true. If
Hmm.
you are open to receiving the lessons that they are here to bring, it is probably the most powerful thing because they are a mirror for you. They tap into a lot of your inner fears.
Hmm.
Um, especially this generation, they question everything. They ask why for everything. And if you're being honest, sometimes you have to stop and be like, I don't know why. Like we've just always done it this way. But this
Hmm.
generation's like, okay, and well, that's stupid. I'm not going to do it that way. And I kind of look at them
Yeah.
like, wow, that's good. That's
Hmm.
good. We just kind of followed. You just do this and you do that and you do this. They're the generation of saying, I don't know. Why?
Questioning.
Questioning. And if you are confident enough in yourself to not be offended by that and not say, well, just do it because I said, but to really sit and think about it, there's some powerful things. It really made me question a lot of what I do. We do so much unintentionally. There's not a lot of intention in what we do. We just follow. We just
Mm-hmm.
follow the programming, you know? So, yes, they have been my biggest life lessons for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I want to congratulate you for that, for allowing them to teach you. Because unfortunately, there are parents that they are like, oh no, but you want them to study certain things or whatever, because the parents are the ones who didn't actually, being able to materialize their dreams, and they want their children to do it, which no, it's a different human being.
Yes. And also, it's kind of scary when someone questions, why are you doing something? It shines a big spotlight on your own life. Like, oh my gosh, have I just been following and not thinking for myself? So it's very easy
Mhm.
to get in your feelings about it. But I think what helped me was my father, when I was a little girl, when I would come home from school, he would say, what did you learn today? And I would
Mhm.
tell him, and he would just say, that's awesome. That's amazing. And he said he wanted to do that because when he was a little boy, he would learn something new and he would try to tell his elders. And they were like, oh, you can't tell me anything. I'm a grown man. Like they would shut him down. You are a
Mm.
little child. There's nothing you can tell me. I'm an adult, therefore I know more than you. And he was like, I never wanted to be like that. I always wanted to learn. And
Mhm.
so when I had children, I could hear his voice. And I thought, Tracy, don't be the know-it-all. What can you learn from them? Let
Mhm.
them teach you.
Wow.
So I think that helped me.
Yes, definitely. You had a very good guidance in there.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Mm. Okay. So now let's move on. When you actually needed to leave motherhood, well, staying home mom, to go back to, yeah, to work.
Yes.
How was that?
That was brutal. That was brutal. I literally did not think I would ever return to my former career because I had these four small children and I knew how stressful it can be and just how time consuming and how your whole world can get wrapped up. And I thought, no, I'm a mom of four. I can't do that. But that's exactly where I ended up. That was where all my experience was. And from the time that I entered, and I say this all the time, it was not the job. It was not the company. It was absolutely me. It was a wonderful company, great managers, great colleagues, coworkers, everything. It was just, I was kind of broken walking through their front door. Did not feel confident. I had imposter syndrome. I felt like, I've been at home watching SpongeBob for 4 years with my sons. I don't know why I'm here. I don't even, but I had to show up every day. My family
Yeah.
desperately needed me to do it. So I did not have a great mentality, unfortunately, the entire time. I was constantly looking for how can I go back to, being home with my sons. So that's not a
Yeah.
good place. Again, you need to be in the now. If I had accepted and been more present, I think it wouldn't have been quite as stressful, but I was constantly, I'm always trying to get back or go forward.
Mhm.
Um, so it was really challenging for me, but I stayed there 10 years and it was a wonderful experience. I grew so much in those 10 years. I did things that I did not think I was capable of. If I didn't have to work and I could have just said, I'm done with this, I would have easily gone home and just, taken the easy route, but I had to stay. And it showed me how much I really can do, how strong I can be, how brave I can be, and how much more I can do than what my mind, was telling me I could do. So it was a really good thing for me to go through. But I got to the point at the end where I could no longer fake it. I thought I was faking it for 10 years. I thought I was
Mhm.
showing up the way they needed me to show up. But towards the end, all that was crumbling down. And I couldn't, I just couldn't pretend anymore. So I didn't have the answers. I wanted to have the plan and the answers before I jumped. I did not, but told my husband, I have to just try. I don't know. I cannot keep going. And so I made the leap without knowing what was next, which was terrifying. But all of the answers showed up after I made the leap. And that's something that I love for people to hear, because so often we want the answers before we leap. We
Yes.
want to know the clarity and have everything in the plan, which is wonderful if you can do that. I'm not trying to, if you can do that first, great. But for me, none of the things would have appeared if I did not take the action first.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's when, as you said, when we take the leap is when we finally said to the universe, I'm done with this. This is enough. And I want something else. And then start just delivering, right?
Absolutely.
And as you said, it's action really was going to give us that clarity that we need.
Yes,
What do
it's
you
always
think?
action.
Yeah. What do you think it was causing that crumbling? Like for you, that itching, it was kind of like a, I don't know, knocking on the
So,
door, or what is start flowing into
yes,
your heart or into your mind? Yeah.
when I was going through it, I self-diagnosed myself as having a nervous breakdown.
Mm.
My life had become so fear-based. I was just fear was my motivation for everything. Everything that I did was out of fear. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. And so I thought I was having a nervous breakdown. But now looking back on it, I think Oprah said it first, that the universe will send you, a whisper, a tap. And it just keeps getting louder and louder. And pretty soon it's a brick. Sometimes it may be a form of illness. I just think it was literally my world shaking me out of the tree, just kicking me out of the nest. Like, she's clearly not going to do this on her own. We are going to collapse everything until she makes a move, until I was not where I was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And I needed to make a change. I really believe that. I just think, here's a horrible analogy. So my cat just jumped up a few minutes ago. It's kind of like if you have a cat and you have a litter box. You have a litter box. It's a good system. You can put the litter in there. The cat goes in there and does its stuff, covers it up with the litter. That will work. The covering it up will work for a while. But if you don't take care of that litter box, after a while, it's going to get to the point where you're going to notice it. You're going to have to. Horrible analogy, but I kind of feel like that's what
Mhm.
happened in my life. I kept just trying to cover things up and it got to the point where the screaming was so loud
Mhm.
that I couldn't focus. I couldn't concentrate. I just couldn't do all the things that I had done to keep me there for 10 years.
Mhm. Wow. So your soul was really screaming, like, get out of here. We need to do
It,
something different.
yes, do something
Literally.
different. Yes. Or, but whatever you do, you can't just continue. This is going to
Hmm.
fall apart one way or the other. You can
Yeah.
take the reins or you can let other people, but it's not going to be able to continue this way.
Hmm. Wow. I think it's so important to listen to that whisper, or if not, I mean, as you said, we get to listen to the scream. Either it's a very loud voice, or is our body causing us pain somewhere that is telling us you need to move from here.
Yes.
And many times you're so stubborn, like, no, no, but
Yes.
this is because we're in a comfort zone, right? And then we feel
Yes.
that the unsafety, like, how am I going to leave my job? But if I have financial, stability, and then I have all these benefits, and the money still, is good for the family. Like, we think that we have to stay there, like we must stay there. And we don't want to listen until something very crucial happens. Unfortunately, humans, we are like that. We get to be pushed out,
Yes.
like the eagles kicking out the
Yes.
kids so they can fly.
Yes.
Otherwise, we don't fly.
It's so, and here's the thing, you don't have to wait to get to that point. And I don't even think that I needed to leave my job. I don't think it was the fact that, oh, my job is this and I have to go do that. I needed to stop. I needed to wake up inside. Like if I could, like we talked about in the beginning, if I had done the self-love, the self-care, if I had, I would show up for work and I made my whole world work. My job was not asking me to make my whole world work. I did that. If I had left and gone to yoga or, taken a course or had a hobby on the side or said, I'm going to take off this week to go on a retreat, or if I had filled my life with these things, I don't know if I would have gotten to that point. So it's not, that's why I keep saying it's not necessarily the job. It was me. It was self-neglect. It was just going through the motions, not being present. It was so many things that I was doing wrong, telling myself that I shouldn't even be here. I don't belong here. All the things, the negative self-talk. If I could have gone back and just been more loving to myself,
Yeah.
I think I would have had a completely different journey. Instead, I made it all about I'm working and that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
I'm working. I couldn't possibly go do this. I couldn't do that. I'll take yoga next. Let me push that off. And I just broke. So
Mm. Mm. Thank you for sharing that because, I mean, yeah, like self-care, it has to be a priority, definitely. But as you said, that self-neglection, it
mm,
it can burn us out. It just we cannot handle life if we don't nurture ourselves, if we don't listen to ourselves. We can't. We need that nurturing. We need that guidance to keep going. Otherwise,
absolutely.
I think is when really what we call the midlife crisis. That is no, it's an awakening. It's hey, hello, you've been there for how many decades? It's time to move. It's like start listening to your heart, to your soul. What are they telling
Yes,
you? And start moving towards that direction. And the more we start doing practices while in that transition to move to something else, that transition is going to be easier and it's not going to be that abrupt and that kind of like feeling such a big disconnection and getting numbed and stuff and saying like being lost literally like I don't know who I am really and I don't know how to take care of myself and where do I go from here.
exactly. So anyone who's listening to us, please take care of
Please.
yourself.
Yes.
Prioritize yourself. That's the
Yes.
moral of the story.
Yeah. 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 Self-care for me really it changed my life because when I separated I thought, yeah, I love myself, you know. And so one of the things that I prioritized, and then thanks to COVID as well, I'm very grateful for that season. I know it
Mm,
was very tough for a lot of people, but for me it was a blessing because I was able to spend time on my own. And it's when I really took it and I said, okay, they are calling us back home. So I'm going to go back home. And that home, I finally found it that is within me. It's in my heart, is where my soul lives.
mm.
But the only way to get there is by taking care of myself and the more self care. And the thing is, I don't know why we make self care so complicated when at the end, self care is habits. It's like, what habits do you have that is going to benefit you? That's what self care is. It's
Yes.
like, what kind of cream of oil are you putting in your body? How are you hydrating yourself? What kind of foods are you putting in? What kind of information are you consuming? Right? It's all those little things that are habits that we have that are really how we can take care of ourselves. And the more we do it, and the more we're going to then start loving ourselves. It's like a friend. When we meet someone, it's like, okay, what are you interested in? What would you like to do? And you start, interacting with the person. Is doing that same thing in our head and talking to ourselves and saying, okay, I would not talk to my best friend harsh or very judgmental. How can I speak to her differently? Right? Changing that vocabulary and start saying, okay, what do I want? what do I want to do for myself today? How do I want to pamper myself? And that's how we get to know ourselves too, by trial and error, like saying, okay, I tried this one, no, I didn't like it, so let's go for something else. And that's how we nurture any other relationship. That's how we get to nurture ourselves. And the more we do it, the more love we're going to gain.
Yes, yes, I love that. And it's being very intentional. You know, you mentioned the habits. It's
Mhm.
being very intentional and mindful with the habits, because sometimes we do things, we get up and we go through our, self-care, brushing our teeth, washing our face, whatever. But it's just so like we've just always done it this way. But when you get to the point where you're very mindful with, why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you choosing what kind of toothpaste? What kind of
Yes.
cream are you going to go for, the expensive body oil? It's every little moment being very just observing what you do. Why are you doing it? Is that in your best interest? Even the foods
Mhm.
that you put in. I have the biggest sweet tooth. But when I'm really being mindful, I'm thinking, Tracy, you just worked out earlier today. You've done all these beautiful things for yourself. Do you really want that pint of Ben and Jerry's? The answer is always yes. But, but at least I've paused and I've recognized
Yeah.
like the disconnect, and maybe I don't eat the whole pint. Maybe I just eat, half.
Yes.
So, so yes, I agree. It's these habits and it's thinking and it's prioritization and feeling good about it. That's the other thing.
Yes.
Not feeling the guilt, because
Yeah.
I tend to feel guilty when I go get the massage. I feel like I have to justify it, or I buy the toothpaste that is $2 more than that one. I feel
Hmm.
a little bit, not anymore.
Hmm.
Not anymore. There's a reason. And that $2 extra that I spent, if it's going to make me feel happy and feel good, then my husband's day is going to go better and my children are, it's
Yes.
it's beautiful how it works. So,
Hmm. Yeah. And it's simple things like that, as you said, just paying those $2. If you know how the toothpaste is gonna last you, like at the end, how many cents per day is.
yes.
It's simple things like that can make the difference to our day. Yeah.
Yes. I have found that the answers are always simple. They're not necessarily easy to do, but
Hmm.
it's the simple things. It's the simple things that we overlook because we're looking for the big thing. In
Oh,
order for my
yes.
life to change, I have to change my job. I have to quit my job. I have to divorce my husband. I have to move states. I have to do something major. Most of the times I call them micro shifts. It's these
Mm.
little decisions,
Yes.
they're always free. They're always available to us,
Hmm.
but they're so simple that sometimes they can be overlooked. I
Yes.
didn't pay $1,000 for this course to tell me. It's just feeling gratitude. What? Like that? You feel, but that's where the power lies in those simple things.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the mundane really what makes the difference at the end. Because as you said, we're chasing those big moments.
Yes.
And yeah, but when we got it, it's like we are in it, we celebrate 1 minute, and then we are like, what's next?
Yes.
So, what's the point? The point is really enjoy the journey to get
And
there.
right. The journey, those small, mundane,
Yeah.
often overlooked choices that we make
Hmm.
throughout our day. That's the magic.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the magic because, I mean, those moments had to do a lot with our dear ones. And then what happened when they are not there anymore is when we actually
Mm.
notice them. So it's about notice them since now. Things that we get bored or we get pissed or triggered is like, okay, it's there. I can feel it and I accept it. And I mean, you you are the queen of a beautiful fix. If we start making the shift or seeing that mundane things with beautiful eyes, we're going to find it.
Yes. 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 That's exactly why I started A Beautiful Fix, because so a beautiful fix, the word fix is literally meant like a fix, like someone who's a drug addict. It's about getting high on life though. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful fix. It's Let's get high on life because life is so beautiful. But you have to notice it. You have to look for it a little bit. You have to explore it. You have to see it when it's right in front of you. You have to, and so that's why I started Beautiful Fix, because when I was in that place, those years of just my life being unrecognizable, the way that I started to come back to myself was I would ask myself, well, Tracy, what do you find? What are you passionate about? And I didn't have this great answer, but I would tell my husband, whatever it is, there's this thread of beauty. And I don't mean physical beauty, like makeup beauty. I mean, like, I love going to beautiful places, traveling to beautiful countries. I love staying in beautiful hotels. I love seeing a sunrise. I love looking out in my backyard and seeing a deer. I love having a beautiful conversation like the one we're having now. I love music. Music can move me so deeply. I can cry. I can't sing a note. So to hear someone who has a voice like an Adele, I can't handle it. It's overwhelming. So I would start realizing I love beautiful things. So and it would shift instantly. Beautiful things are high vibrational. It would shift
Yes.
my mood. I could go and sit on my deck and see a gorgeous bird for the first time and feel better. And so I would start going on these beautiful fixes, looking for my fix of beauty to feel better.
Yes.
And that's when I said, I want to start this company that shines a spotlight, because we forget how beautiful this world is. And I mean everybody's world. You cannot convince me that you could not look right now in your room, in your environment, wherever you are. You could be in your car and not find something that's beautiful. It's not possible. You might think, oh, well, I don't have the latest Birkin bag. I think that's what they're called. But no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Mhm.
about, I got to the point of having, because it's also a gratitude. It's a gratitude practice. Seeing beautiful things and feeling gratitude for it. I started to heal and come back to myself when my gratitude practice got to the point of not, I'm happy that I got that promotion, not, I'm happy that I just, you know, bought a brand new car. Not that kind of gratitude. That's good too. My gratitude practice got to the point of I can wake up in the morning and walk a few steps and go to my bathroom, my own bathroom. I don't have to
Mhm.
share it with another family or, I recognize that is a gift. Not everyone even has that.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the sink and wash my hands and turn the sink on and there's running water. When I got to that level of gratitude, my world started to open up,
Yes.
because I couldn't see those things before. I would just take it for granted. I would just go
Yeah.
through the day and just rush through all of that. But once I realized, oh my gosh, because when you can feel that level of gratitude there, then you start to notice all the things that you can be grateful for, all the blessings that you have, how
Mhm.
full your life really is exactly the way it is today. And so, yes, I'm sorry to go on a long thing, but that is
No,
the
no, it's
beauty of a beautiful fix. Life is
yeah.
beautiful. It is when you can look for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's being open to see it that way because we have been programmed to see things and the negative. If we have an experience of, I don't know, something happened in 10 minutes and then something happened for a second and we're going to focus on that second that something went wrong instead of on the other 10 minutes that everything was great. That's the way they taught us you know, to focus on that. But it's about doing those little shifts on and choosing. Yes, I want to choose or to see something beautiful, and it has to be intentional. And the more we seek for it, the more we're gonna get it. And I want to mention something because when you said beautiful things, I remember once I went to a retreat in Costa Rica. So we arrived there to this beautiful finca full of any kind of plants that you would like. I
Oh,
mean, it was so gorgeous. And then the river, the cascade from the river going there. And I remember being one of my sisters there, and we went because of a program that we were taking, and we were so overwhelmed, Tracy. And the worst thing is that when I got there, that I was presencing all that beauty, I thought that I didn't deserve it.
Mm.
So it was overwhelming because I thought that I didn't deserve it. And
Wow.
I was like, wow. I was very impressed to have that sensation in my body and saying, wow, this is happening. And why am I thinking that I don't
Yes.
deserve this?
That was my next question. Why?
Mhm.
Why?
It was mainly because I needed to work in my own self-worth. So
Oh.
it's, I mean, if we want to see beautiful things out there, we got to start seeing that beautiful things
Mm.
inside, because by the end of the retreat, after doing a lot of healing and processes and, and integrating and everything, when we left there, when we were leaving, and I was like, fuck yeah, I do deserve this beauty and I want more.
Mm. Oh,
But it was really to
wow.
go into that process of the healing again. It was a healing process that really helped me by saying, yeah, if there's beauty out there, what's happening? Why do I think that I don't deserve it? What is
Can it,
in me?
that is powerful. I've never, I've dealt with a lot of self-worth issues through my life for sure, but I've never thought of that. Um, the idea when I see beautiful things, I feel at home, I feel connected, I feel drawn to it. I light up inside. The idea of seeing something beautiful and questioning, that's powerful. I'm so glad that you took that time to recognize, wait a minute, why am I feeling this? And to do the work and heal to the point where you're like, not only do I deserve this, but I want more.
Yeah.
That's powerful because I try to put myself in those situations as much as I can.
Mhm.
Walking through a store, I remember going to see the Lion King, the musical. Have you seen that?
No, the musical, no, I have.
Ugh, I was overwhelmed. The way you said you were overwhelmed, I can get like that when all of my senses are
Yes.
being, you know,
Turn
are being
on.
like turned on. Yes, it is overwhelmed. So the Lion King, I didn't really know what to expect. The opening of the Lion King, if you ever get a chance, I I was there with my mother-in-law. She gifted
Mhm.
this to us. I was there with my boys, and I didn't even realize this. But when it opens up, it starts off. I'm not even going to try it, but they do that kind of like little, I'll say, chant, and then the music starts, and slowly the animals come out, not just on the stage, which is where you're expecting them, these beautiful costumes, but they start coming through the theater, and you look up and
Oh,
there's an
wow.
elephant, and the creativity of these costumes, and the music is playing and it's getting more and more. And I didn't realize it, but I was just inching towards the end of my seat. Like I think my mouth was open. Like I was overwhelmed. And I looked
Yeah.
over at my mother-in-law, and the look on her face, she was watching me have this experience. It was almost orgasmic. I mean, it was,
Yes.
it was just, I was just, and I'm bawling and I'm crying. This was the opening. I just, that is one of the best examples of being fully immersed in
Mhm.
just the high of life, just over from the music, visually, the creativity, knowing that some person saw this, visualized it, it's
Wow.
just so good.
Mm.
Costa Rica is on
Yes.
my list, so I will have to absolutely go there. I've heard it's
Oh,
just
yes.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's one of the chakras. It's one of the chakras of the earth, for what I hear.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's all I know. Don't tell me. That's all I know. But yeah, I know that the earth had chakras too. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be rabbit holing with ChatGPT after this. I didn't know that
Yeah.
that was I've heard that there
Mhm.
are powerful energetic places
Yeah.
on Earth, but I never thought of it in terms of chakra. Okay, I'm gonna have to look
Yes.
it up.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I haven't dig in. That's all I know.
Yes.
But I was like,
Okay.
okay, that sounds very
Oh,
interesting. So there you go.
yes. It's got goosebumps.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. So what? well, we talked about a bit already about a beautiful fix.
Yes.
So what is it that you do in there? Well, besides, we already speak a bit of what is about, but
Yes.
yeah,
So
tell
my
us
whole
more.
thing is I wanted to reach women that felt the way I felt during those years of not knowing who I was and
Mhm.
searching for the answers outside of myself, always through books, courses, other people, just searching. I wanted to help women, first of all, take these micro shifts to start to go inward because the answers are within. They are absolutely within.
All of
You don't
them,
need
yes.
anybody, anything but yourself. It sounds easy, but it requires a lot of work. Like you said, it's a lot of healing. It's a lot of facing the demons, facing the woman in the mirror, unpacking it, looking at your conditioning, your programming. So it's a lot that goes into it, but I wanted to just help women realize that the answers are within, to remember how beautiful their lives are as they are, and just rediscover
Mhm.
who they are. So I do that through my podcast, bringing, people, you've been on my podcast, sharing their stories so that
Yes.
they can identify with they're not alone. I have women from every telling stories that are completely different, but there's this theme of them going on a journey and something happening
Mhm.
in their life, and then them finding something that started to heal them. So the podcast through storytelling or through my retreats, so an immersive experience of taking that time for yourself to get
Mhm.
out of the habit of your everyday life, just breaking that habit, putting yourself in a whole new environment, so that you can spend some time reconnecting with yourself, and through tools like human design, because human design is all about helping you remember who you are. We're so conditioned, Kenna. We're so
Yes.
conditioned. We talked about that a lot on today's podcast. We've been conditioned away from who we really are. We've been conditioned to believe that the way we are is not how we're supposed to be. We beat ourselves up and we're constantly trying to be like that one over there. Human design is just about no, you are designed to be exactly how you are. You just need to remember and strip away all the conditioning so that you can remember, like, oh my gosh, now that I've taken away all these layers of what everybody else was telling me who I should be, this is who I am. And lining up with that and being authentic and aligned with that, everything else unlocks. Everything else unlocks. So I have the podcast, human design sessions, and retreats. So those are the way that I, try to connect with women and help them remember who they are.
Mm. Beautiful. Again, thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, in different ways, you and me, what we're doing is really guiding women back to themselves, to
Yes.
know who they are and bringing that clarity, and yeah, understanding who they are and love themselves. And yeah, I want to
And
bring you
and
back to yeah, I
oh, I
want
was
to
just
bring you
saying,
back to do a human design. Yeah, to talk
yes,
about human design. Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I would love that. No, I was just going to say yes to everything you were saying and to trust themselves. I
Mhm.
think I stopped trusting myself because my body was telling me that this corporate world that I was in was no longer right for me. I didn't trust that because I knew that was exactly where I was supposed to be.
Mhm.
Society tells me that this is what I'm striving for, that this is, this is it. And I wasn't listening. So if I can help women just trust themselves, trust
Mhm.
the little whispers, the little nudges,
Yes.
the little breadcrumbs of curiosity, trust that before anything else. Drop back into your body, trust where your heart is leading you, where your gut is telling you something's right for you or something's wrong for you. Put up those boundaries and those guardrails, protect your energy. It's all of that. It's all of that.
Mhm.
Just giving women permission. Stop beating yourself up. I promise you, you are designed exactly how you're supposed to be.
Mhm. Yes. Ah. I have a couple of questions for you before we close this out.
Sure.
um, how would you call your current midlife butterfly chapter?
Mm. How would I call it?
Yes.
Ooh. I think true to um, the name Midlife Butterfly, it is a period of transformation. It really is. I am not the same person that I was in my earlier years. And that's the beauty in it. Y- I'm evolving. We have to be afraid of that evolution. You know, when you think of a butterfly, can you imagine if it fought itself when it decided to go into the chrysalis to turn into this, this unknown thing, but to turn into this beautiful butterfly? What if it said, no, I'm good with the caterpillar stage. I'm good. I'm just gonna, this is what I know. I'm gonna just keep doing this. Man, it would miss out on having wings and flight and being this gorgeous. So I believe that I am truly there. I'm embracing the unknown. I
Mhm.
do not consider myself an expert at anything. I say this all the time. I don't want to be an expert. I want to be a student of life. I want to be curious. I want to learn. I do want to guide and take other people's hands and shine that spotlight on them so that
Mhm.
they can remember kind of who they are and trust. But I just want to go on the journey. I don't want to know what's around the corner. I don't necessarily want to know what tomorrow brings. I don't want to know what I'm eating for dinner. I really want to be right now. I'm here with you. I'm so deeply present with you right now. And that's new for me
Mhm.
because I stay in my head. I live in my mind. I used to live in my mind, but now I'm giving my mind a rest. My mind is all about lived experiences. I don't want to keep
Yes.
living the same day over and over again. So now I'm dropping into my body and I'm embracing following nudges and the not knowing. I'm excited about that. So
Mhm.
that's where I am. I am the butterfly. The butterfly
Mm.
actually is the logo for my company as well.
Yes, I
Um,
know.
I don't use it everywhere, but that's where it kind of started because the butterfly represents everything, everything.
Mhm.
So I'm just flitting around these days. I'm just flitting and fleeting. That's where you'll find
Yes.
me.
Ah, excellent. I love it. And what's a simple pleasure that you enjoy the most?
Oh, simple pleasure I enjoy the most. That's hard because I love reading. I absolutely love reading. I love at the end of the day when the day's behind me,
Mhm.
everything's done. It's just kind of my time and it's like, ooh, what I want to do. That's my favorite time of the day. And I love it when I realize I can just sit down with a book. But I think it's I think it's being present. I'm gonna say it's being present because I've
Mhm.
spent my life not being. No, I don't want to say it. Let me go back. I think when I was a little girl, I was very present. When I was playing with my friends, I was right there. I was completely 100%. If we were playing school, I was working it. I was a school teacher. I was there. I was not thinking
Mhm.
about anything else. Somewhere along the lines, I forgot that. And I forgot to be present. And I stayed constantly in the future or looking back in the past. I think I am at my happiest and enjoying life the most when I'm just in the moment, whether it's my sons coming home
Yeah.
and I'm in the middle of working and I'm trying to get that thing done that I need to get done. And they're trying to tell me about their day. And I have enough presence to shut my laptop and just lean in and listen
Mm.
and really listen and forget about all the to dos, just being in the moment as much as I can.
Mm. That's fantastic. And I'm going to have to do a third question because, as you said, you manage now how to stay present. What is it? Which practice do you do, or what is it that you do to get to this present moment? Because it's simple, but it's not
Yes.
easy.
It's
So,
it Exactly. So if I had to answer, I would say it's been a long road. And I don't mean that to sound like someone hearing this today can't immediately start it, because you can. It's just that for me, I've done a lot of work on myself to not be in my mind, in my head,
Mhm.
to not listen to, I call him Mr. No. He's the voice that lives in my head that
Yeah.
ran my life when I was in corporate America.
Mhm.
To recognize that that is fear, and he's not going to run the show anymore. He's there to keep me safe, and I thank him for that. But it's like, I'm going to need you to take a back seat. So it's a lot of energetic work. It's making the choice to meditate in the morning. It doesn't come naturally for me.
Mhm.
I want to get up and start doing all the things. For me to stop and say, no, we're going to sit down, and for 3 minutes, we're going to meditate. Or for 1 minute, I'm going to listen to Kathy Heller's meditation or something, but something that quiets my mind. I used to have an alarm set on my phone to every 2 hours just beep so that I could stop and question, Tracy, are you in your head? Are you being present?
Oh, I
Well,
love
that
that.
drove, yeah, it's good because you'll
Uh-huh.
catch yourself and be like, wait, what? And it makes you, okay, wait, let me think. But it was driving everybody crazy. My alarm was going off at all kinds of places. And so I kind of stopped. But it's a good exercise for
It's a
someone
good
to try.
exercise. Yeah.
Make it every 3 hours, make it every 5 hours, to just hear that alarm and stop and say, Tracy, are you present? Are you
Mhm.
present? Are you present while you're washing the dishes? I mean, are you present while you're eating your food? Mindful eating is powerful. Are you smelling it? Are you tasting it? Are you nibbling it? All of that. Like, you can really take this. Kathy Heller has said it best. Meditation doesn't have to be a thing you do. Your life can be meditation. Your whole
Yeah,
life
an
can
active
be
meditation.
an
Yes.
active meditation. It's just being present in each moment when you're driving. Everything can be a form of meditation. So it's something I work on constantly, but it's getting to the
Mhm.
part where it's becoming more of the norm
Yeah.
than, every once in a while.
Mm. Yes. Yeah, it's a continuous practice.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is the way it is.
Mhm.
But it's beautiful because then we reduce anxiety, we reduce fear, because when we are focusing in the present moment, this is what it is, and here there's only peace and love.
So you cannot be anxious in the now. You
Yeah,
can't.
we
You're
can't.
only anxious when you're thinking of the future. You're only depressed when you're thinking of the past. So
Hmm.
if you can train your mind to stay in this present moment, which all there is, you can't be either one of those.
Hmm.
So it's powerful. It's
It
worth
is.
doing it. It's worth
Yes.
doing it.
Yeah. And that's how we can create our lives the best we can, because we're
Yes.
choosing. By being present, we can choose intentionally, and then from there the creation is going to come.
Yes. One moment at a
Yeah.
time. One
Yes.
beautiful fix at a time. Mic
Yes.
drop.
Oh, Tracy, thank you so much for this extraordinary and loving conversation.
Kenneth,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for
your
having me.
presence. Your presence, your love, your energy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to all the listeners, I'm going to be putting in the show notes where you can find Tracy. And we're going to be having her back about talking about human design.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I was going to say, if anyone's interested, I do have a
Yes.
free guide that is filled with just 5 micro shifts. We've talked about
Yeah.
these micro shifts.
Yes.
They're all so simple. They're all so simple, but that is something that, if they want to take a look at it again, it's looking at them and just being mindful enough to say, okay, this seems so ridiculously simple. You can do the eye roll, but then just kind of try it and just see what
Mhm.
happens. So
Excellent.
that is available.
We'll share it in the notes too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning into Midlife Butterfly. If this episode lit a spark in you, hit that subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen so you'll never miss the magic. If you're feeling generous, drop a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps this empowering content reach more souls ready to transform their lives. And don't forget to take a photo of you while listening and share it on your socials. You can tag me at KenasYou so I can celebrate you and your expansion. Until next time, keep spreading those wings and living in joy, growth, and pleasure.